It wasn't your something great, but you did talk about it.
So my something great, I did already talk about it on the show?
Yes.
Oh. And this is Gaytriarchs.
Gavin, I can't believe I'm going to say this to you.
Okay.
I need to take a big breath. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, geez.
I need your advice.
I'm sorry, what?
That's the shocking part. I need your advice.
I was shocked.
On parenting.
I was shocked into silence. I was staring at you through the Zoom screen, and wow, it must be really bad, huh?
So I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I was at the orthodontist waiting for my time to go into the orthodontist, and there was a probably 12 to 14-year-old girl across from me sitting with her mom. And to listen to the nonstop monologue coming out of this girl's mouth of nonsense, of dribble, and the mom would say something like, "Oh, I see on the neighborhood group that a squirrel got killed in the driveway." Well, I already knew that because Jess already said that. But anyway, Jess was the blah, blah, blah. And just the nonstop diarrhea of the mouth. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm prepared to handle this. Mm-hmm. And then my 3-year-old daughter later said to me, "Skibbity toilet." She's 3, Gavin. So my question to you is, if I don't know
is my answer.
Hearing a stranger's daughter dribble on about fucking nothing, and my 3-year-old is now saying to me, "Skibbity toilet." How do I survive the preteen and teen years? Go. Oh God!
And so, moving on.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh no! To be fair, we always intend to never do anything on this podcast.
Anything helpful whatsoever.
Oh my God!
How are you going to? I mean, I ask myself that every day.
But you're in the trenches. You're in the trenches right now. Yeah. How do you survive?
We were at a dinner the other night with some friends who, a friend who's a teacher and who I think will be a guest someday soon on Gaytriarchs. He reminded me, you really are in the trenches right now. And but you're in the trenches when you have a 1-year-old. And you're in the trenches
a 2-year-old,
a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's all just different trenches. But wow, yeah.
No advice.
It is amazing. No, 0.
Okay.
It is amazing though. Isn't it reassuring to listen to other kids and be reminded? Oh my! It's other people OPKs. It's so annoying. Now, if your daughter ends up being that nonstop drivel, I wonder if you'll be like, I want you to be an other people's kid now. Go be an OPK because you're driving me so crazy. But
I remember being in the car with a mutual friend of ours' daughter once, and she was nonstop monologuing about nothing to hear her own voice.
Yeah,
and you couldn't pop in with any sort of interesting because that was stupid and fucked up. And I was just like, "Is there a mute button on this?"
Yeah,
and this is not even my child, and I get OPKs are way more annoying. But like, I was like, oh my God, we were talking about this is. Spoiler alert, we've already recorded the interview, so I already know what we're going to be talking about. But we were talking with Mario Monte about that, of like, if I can't handle this at 3, how do I do this at 13? So Gavin, you have no advice for me, so this has been really, really helpful.
This does kind of remind me, though, of my daughter, who is very expressive and fantastic, and I love her, of course. And she often is. I often have to say to her, you don't need to be the loudest kid in the room all the time. And every time I say that, but she isn't a nonstop monologuer. And so when she is a particularly frenzied state sometimes and does monologue, I actually find it really entertaining. And I'm able to just sit back and smirk and watch her just go on and on. And I'm like, wow, you are really going off right now. Pop off, girl. But I more often am having to ask her, with the volume situation, you don't always have to be the loudest person in the room. So I have no advice except that not every kid is that monologuer, and so just pray. And if she pray as of you, but if she does,
I will get on my knees if that helps.
If she does start being one of those people, I just give her away. Just make
the skibbity toilet almost made me drop her off at the fire station.
Make her an OPK. But wait a minute, what was the context that she said skibbity toilet?
I guarantee you she heard it from my son. She just heard it.
So it was just nonsense
said to me,
that she said.
Skibbity toilet. But I'm like, is it already so pervasive that it gets down to pre-K 3?
Yeah, it's so weird.
I thought this was like a middle school
thing. It's so
thing.
weird.
Ugh.
No, it's pretty cringe by middle school, I think. I think they're mocking Skibbity Toilet, but your son might be actually using it in not in jest, in earnest.
No.
Speaking of sons being in earnest, I am a little hesitant to talk about this today, I have to say.
Oh, you've lowered your volume.
I have because my son is home today, and I literally do not want him to hear me. But
he's peeking out the window to see.
This was an interesting dilemma we had today, which is my son is really nailing the whole broccoli top haircut. You know what I'm talking about? Like what the boys across apparently the entire country or across TikTok are doing. He's really, and I didn't realize he was vain. I didn't know, but he did need a haircut and he wanted the haircut. And he got a haircut on Friday. And it ended up, I had to check.
You keep peeking out the window is hilarious.
And he, the guy took off more than he wanted. And he was very upset. Very upset. Mind you, we are recording this on a Monday and my son is home today. And he was like, I'm not going to school today. And I'm like,
because of the haircut?
I'm like, yes, you are. You are absolutely going to school today. And he said, no, I'm not. There was no drama. He has never, ever once even hinted at anything remotely close to a mental health day. But I was like, let's take a mental health day. If this is what you need, because I said, it's not happening tomorrow. And he's like, I know. But it was funny because many people have said to me, not many, this is going to seem like therapy, but many people have said, I just said many people again have said you need to focus
Gavin,
on your son.
have you been drinking before this recording? Because
you need to focus on your son because he's not as loquacious and monologue-y like your daughter can be, who I just said is not really that monologue-y. But he has some strong feelings about it. Strong feelings. And he's like,
this is the age, I guess, where
100%.
Just so desperate to fit in and be cool or not be noticed. Be noticed.
And you don't think, because he dresses like every other middle school kid right now, which is no effort whatsoever. I was like, we're going to take a mental health day today. And so at first I was like, there's going to be no gaming, no screens, no fun. And then I thought, you know what, Gav, just like, come on, just let him have a mental health day. So
look at you growing. As a parent. Proud of you.
But what was fascinating was my partner and I were discussing this morning, and he went on Reddit, and I'm like, wait, what? You went on Reddit? And I don't even know how you search for things on Reddit because dinosaur. But he found a whole discussion of should I give my son? I'm not kidding. It's as if he wrote it himself. That should I give my son let my son stay home from school because of a
bad haircut.
There was a whole discussion of it. And universally, everybody's like, give him a break.
I mean, I've had bad haircuts where, like, I don't give a shit about my hair. My hair has always been the same forever. But I remember one time having a really, really, really bad short haircut.
Me too.
Where I looked bald. I looked horrible. And I was, like, devastated.
This is fascinating. This is fascinating because this is actually going to relate directly to our top 3 list. And no, this is not the segue into the top 3 list, but the top 3 list is definitely related to my hair in middle school. Anyway.
We're really good at segues. Speaking of segues, we got a listener email in. Listen, we got, as we said, I think last week or the week before, we got lots of messages and emails that we just fucking ignored. So sorry about that. So we're spreading them out. But we got this really sweet email from our listener. His name is Steven.
Hi,
Steven. And he sent a really nice message about how amazing the show is and how sexy David is and how much Gavin isn't needed on the show. You know the normal stuff. But he did wanted to talk about something very interesting. He said, I recently listened to this week's Mel Robbins podcast on female adult relationships and found it very enlightening. So for me, am I the only gay parent? I am the only gay parent on this mom's WhatsApp group in my daughter's year. I've always gotten well with women originally, thinking it would be easy to fit into these groups, but I find it extremely difficult. Women as mothers versus single women enjoying a gay best friend are very different.
Yes.
And so he wanted to hear our thoughts and perspectives. And guess what, Gavin?
Yeah.
I actually went and listened to that episode.
Did ya? And
I listened to Mel Robbins talk for an hour and a half. So first of all, fuck you, Steven, listener, because you made me listen to like an earnest, heartfelt, like mental health, like thoughtful podcast for an hour and a half of my life.
You need a mental health day from that. You need to just go watch some Pornhub and
totally. We should do top 3 Pornhub search categories. But anyway, so I think I thought it was like, that's an interesting discussion that we can have, because I do get, I think what Steven is alluding to, which is where like we as gay men have a relationship with women in the early part of our lives.
Totally.
Usually as the gay best friend, as the bestie, you know, you can come on the girls trip, blah, blah, blah. But there is a shift that happens, I feel like, when you get a little older, maybe 30s, 40s. And then that is not as cute. Like, hey, all the girls are getting together for a paint class, but you can come. And it doesn't sound fun anymore. It sounds like, oh, I'm not a girl. But then also, like he's saying, in these like mom groups, I feel the same way. We were invited to like this like moms group outing from our daycare, and it did not feel good.
Yeah.
It did not feel like I was just one of the moms. I was like, I'm a dad. And then sometimes you're with the dads and they're like super straight bro dads, you do kind of feel like, well, I'm not one of these dads.
Right.
So you can feel kind of isolated. And the Mel Robbins podcast mostly went into like women and women relationships. So like two women who are friends or mother-daughter or whatever, and like how it can be stressful and what are some specific things. But I think that the point of view is like a gay man plus a woman, and that relationship is really fascinating.
I completely agree, especially with my time on PTAs and PTOs, where I was generally when I was in New York, there were many more men involved. But now that I'm not in New York, there's fewer men involved. And so sometimes there is that element of like, oh, you're just one of the girls. And you're like, but am I? I don't know.
But I remember in college just being like, yeah, totally. Yeah. I'll go with you and do the girls thing. And it felt right.
Do you think that was about acceptance, or it just felt right?
Yeah. I think it was about finding a tribe that like you belong to, finding people that, not that you belong to, but that like stuck up for you. Yeah. And, you know, especially back in the 1800s when I was gay, like it was not as, it was pretty fucking dangerous depending on where you were. Yeah. But it definitely feels now that like I am not one of the moms. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's just like a gender thing or whatever, but like, you know.
Also, technically, you're not one of the girls. I mean, that's kind of how I've always felt. I mean, I suppose that puts me in between. But being the gay pet has never been something that I've
gay
liked
pet.
Being.
That's a great way of putting that. Being the gay pet, because the only thing we share is like we both like to fuck dudes. So it's like that means a little bit more at 20 than at 45.
A little direct, and yes, that's exactly right.
But right, like that's what it is, and so I get what Steven is saying about like, you know, he's in this like WhatsApp group and he's the only guy. Yeah. And I think from the women's point of view, they can think like, oh, we're
it doesn't
all
matter.
The same team.
I can say it in front of you. You're gay.
Yeah, but then it's like I'm the outsider at this point.
Yeah.
So we have no solutions for you, Steven. Other than like we totally get that like that change as a parent where like this is, you know, when I said, you know, when my husband and I show up to things, it's there's never two parents ever at pickup, at events, at drop off, but it's always the moms. Always the moms. Yep. And I wonder if that's part of it too, is like gay men are doing all the jobs. So that's why moms think that like we're, I don't know. I don't get it. Or do they just want to use us as like, hey, I know a gay guy.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. Everybody does want to have like their gay pet, I think. Men included, frankly.
The Mel Robbins podcast, basically, the TLDR on it, which I agree with, it was kind of like why are women and men kind of so different? And I think the TLDR, which I fully agree with, is like women think much deeper than men, and so when they have a response or a breakup with a friend or they meet somebody new, there's like 75 layers of depth to that relationship and nuance and everything. And I feel like men are like, you like cars? I like cars. We are friends now. And I think women don't believe that it could be that simple for men. I'm like, no.
It
trust
truly
me.
Is.
We both like nachos, so we hang out every day. And that's the extent of our friendship. I don't know what they do for a living. I don't know if they're married or not, but they're my best friend.
Because you like nachos. And you don't have to say that you're BFFs, you just know it, that you are, because you are passively spending time together. I'm sure, David, that your blood is boiling right now because you see me looking at my phone. But as a complete change on this, I am desperately trying to find the name of the people that I know that live on the island of Jersey and not the one you get to through the Lincoln Tunnel. Because in our listener email to us, Stephen Jackson, he lets us know that he lives in the original Jersey, the small island off of Normandy, And I think it's hilarious that he says, not the one you get to through the Lincoln Tunnel. Because I know a couple that lives in Jersey. And I basically am using our podcast as a platform to say, hey, you're from Jersey. Do you know somebody? And I can't find their name in Facebook. So this was completely
What do they
pointless,
speak in Jersey? French?
French and English. It's right, but it's a tiny island between, it is French. Tiny island in the English Channel between France and England. And
I mean, who knew our listenership
went to Jersey?
Went to Jersey.
I mean, we knew.
We knew, we knew there's me. But that's very exciting that he's on this small island and is still dealing with the same bullshit we are on this Jersey.
It is, it is quite literally a universal bullshit.
Yeah. He asked at the end, like, I would love to hear about your perspectives on this minefield. I love that because it's a total fucking minefield.
Yeah.
Like if we're like, I don't really want to be in the only moms group, now am I on the outside?
Yeah.
There's a group of moms at our daycare that keep asking us to go to their like drink sangria in the afternoon.
See,
group
they want
or whatever,
and
they just are they're like mean girls. They like bitch and moan. I don't want to do that. It is a pet thing. You're right. It's a total pet thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So yeah, no advice for you. As normal, Stephen, we have no advice. We have no help, and Godspeed with your life.
But you know what is not bullshit?
What?
Our DILF of the week.
Oh, God,
so
he's so beautiful.
Oh, you don't even know who it is, do you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I definitely am not looking at the document that says who it is.
I hope that the entire world saw Pete Buttigieg and his appearance on some other stupid podcast that shall remain nameless, in which he was talking about his hope for America, that basically everybody just live a slightly easier life where they're protected from poison and pollution. And it was just so fantastic. And you're reminded why he should be a top contender for president. You know, I mean, he's just so logical. How can you argue with this guy? And he's so smart and he's so kind and everything. But David, that beard,
the beard sent because already he's on, and we may have done him as a DILF of the week before.
I don't think
we reserve the right to do as many as we want. It's our fucking show.
We can F these DILFs as much as we want.
But what you were saying about like he talks with, he's famously always on Fox News. He's like the only like Democrat who's invited there. He's on this right wing podcast. He does those things where like people are in a circle and he's at the little table and like everyone comes up and tries to argue with him. Yeah. And he just, like you said, he just speaks it. And he's cute. He's charming. He's sweet. He's a gay dad. But that beard has leveled him up.
Yeah.
Level up.
Yeah. That beard.
All right. So our DILF of the week, Pete Buttigieg. You know what's also hairy and that I want to sleep with?
Tell me.
Our top 3 list.
Gaytriarchs top 3 list. 3, 2, 1.
This week's top 3 list is my list, and I was curious, what are the top 3 movie or TV characters you wanted to be when you were growing up? Because, boy, when I was in those middle school days with my bad haircut, I just wanted, Hollywood to take me away and be one of these characters, right? So, for me, number 3, Daisy Duke. I wanted to drive the Jeep. I wanted
the short shorts.
I wanted the boots.
I just have this vision of you in that with like one of your balls peeking out the bottom of those short shorts. Just one. And you know it. And you know we know it. And that's what I want to see.
Okay. Number 2, Michael J. Fox. In anything that he did, because I was definitely of that generation of wanting to be Teen Wolf. I wanted to be Back to the Future. I wanted to be Michael P. Keaton. I wanted to be Michael J. Fox because I figured, I mean, what a life that character lives. Because let's face it, he was playing the same character and everything that he did. So, so that's that. Number 1, all hair related for me. In addition to the bad haircut, where I brought a picture in of Johnny Depp in 21 Jump Street, whose hair was so fucking rad. I mean, I wanted I wanted it all. I wanted to be Johnny Depp in 21 Jump Street, even though I don't know that I've ever actually seen an episode of it. But basically, I was probably just lusting after, obviously, Johnny Depp from back in the day. And I brought in a picture of it to my Great Clips in 1947 at the first Great Clips that was ever invented. And the woman looked at it and she said, "Oh, we can do that. It's a little short, but we can do that." And then she proceeded to cut my hair shorter with the most basic Great Clips little boy haircut ever. And I went home and cried. but I did not skip school because of it. But I went home and cried because I did not have Johnny Depp hair, nor was I anywhere near having the 8 months of growing out that you would need to have Johnny Depp hair.
I just love the boomer list you just gave us. The greatest, the greatest generation. Like I can't believe like Charlie Chaplin wasn't on your list. All right, so mine. If you know me even a little bit, none of these should be a surprise. But number 3 for me, Elle Woods. Come on, rich, positive, smart, fearless, generous. Rich, everything works out for her. Yeah. She gets the guy. She learns. She goes to Harvard. I mean, this is she becomes a politician. Yeah. She has a beautiful baby. It's just perfect life. Number 2, Harry Potter. Oh my God! The idea of waking up as a little boy and getting a letter saying, just guess what? Yeah, you're magical and you get to go to this fucking magical school where you get to sleep next to Ron Weasley. Yes, count me in. And number 1, again, no surprise, Dr. Ellie Arroway from Contact. Jodie Foster's character in Contact.
Wow, that is a random...
Oh, but like, hey, it's my favorite movie of all time when we did favorite movies or whatever. But also the idea of like, we got this message from space. It's to build this transport unit. Who should go? She gets to go. She is the only person who's ever gotten to do like how fucking amazing of an experience would that be? And also there's this whole theme of like the battle of religion versus science in that movie, which I'm obsessed with. Of course. I just love that movie so much. Dr. Ellie Arroway.
That was all right. What is next week?
Next week, what are the top 3 first world problems?
Our next guests are not only thirst traps with their selfies and their smiles, but they want to make everyone mad at them because they post incessant pictures of palm trees and tropical fabulosity, making everyone wonder why we don't all live in Hawaii. They're musicians, mental health experts. They create content of, I'm not kidding, the most joyous smiles on the reg, and they both look like fine men in military uniform because they're one big rainbowy set of skin-tight camo. Welcome, Mario and Monte. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Hey, guys.
Thank you for having us. Aloha, as we say in Hawaii.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Relax. Okay, we get it. You get it. I live in New Jersey. You live in Hawaii. It's basically the same thing.
That was
it's
just rubbing it in our faces, like I said, which is all you guys do. But hey, we're here for it. So we always want to know, first up, how has your child driven you bananas today?
Well, today already. Well, it's still pretty early in the morning here. Depending on how she wakes up in the morning, if she's in a great mood, she does very well. If she's not in a great mood, it takes us forever to get her teeth brushed because she hates it half of the days.
Yeah.
So
that, and I know she's at this age where she's really testing the limits. Mm-hmm. So she is like, I say no, and then she goes, eh? And she do it with the smile on her face, like no, you know. And then it's hard because she's so cute. It's like it's like
the worst,
and you have to try not to laugh and smile while she's like doing
so she can take you serious.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a whole negotiation. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I equate her to like a cat, where like I'll be like, don't push that off the shelf, and she'll just like with her little paw just push it a little bit, but maintain aggressive eye contact with me.
Yes.
And also, I know the idea of like you go into her room in the morning, and you're like, please be the good one. Please be the good one.
Yes,
Please be the good
absolutely.
one. And you're like, hi, honey. And she's like, get out. And you're like, fuck.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, also like when, because normally in the morning I wrote a song called Time to Wake Up.
Aww.
And I play that every morning. And so I'm either tickling her and she starts to say the words and all whatnot. Rarely she'll start jumping up and down. But usually when the no part, you know, as we're talking about, the part that really aggravates me is when we say no and she's like, all right, fine. She starts to walk away. And then as she's walking away, she pushes it again or does it again.
Yeah.
Like a type of deal. I'm like, okay.
Just to rub your face in it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's 3, but she's really 13.
Well, let me be the old man in the room and say, listen, it doesn't get any better because me with my 13-year-old, just the other day, I can't actually remember what it was that she said to me, but she was defying me in a way that had just, it had transgressed all logic. And I started laughing in her face at her. And let me tell you, with a 13-year-old, that does not go well. She did see the absurdity in what was coming out of her mouth, though. And you remember being 13, or maybe even now, when you say something so ridiculous, you're angry, and then you're desperately trying to, repress your laughter, and it just makes you so much more angry then. I mean, it's all human, but
I don't know. I don't know if I could do it, Gavin. We were talking before you joined in the first part of the show about like my daughter is also 3, and I just like imagining her in an adult body doing the shit she pulls with me.
Yeah.
I can't like right now. I can just pick her ass up and put her in the bed. Yeah. But like when I'm dealing with like a grown ass woman,
you cannot.
What do I do when she rolls her eyes at me and looks like she's going to light the house on fire? Okay, so we had some technical difficulties because I guess
Hawaii.
It was too tropical where you were at, and the internet
sweaty.
fell out.
Yes.
So anyway, we were talking about how our daughters sometimes choose light and sometimes choose dark. And your daughter chose light or dark this morning?
This morning she actually chose light.
Okay.
She was light.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Now, you said that you wrote a song for her, like a morning get-up song. Do you mean that you wrote a song that we can listen to on Spotify and check?
You could. Just type in Time to Wake Up. You have to type in Mario Foreman Powell.
Is there a video on YouTube? Right?
And there's a video on YouTube, too.
Oh, we should definitely use that as our playout. That would be really nice to have a little bit of music for the show. Yeah.
We're definitely going to do that.
I've been trying to pitch it to Disney and all that stuff, but no one wants to listen to me. So.
Whoa!
Get the parents and getting the parents involved.
Yeah. We got a bunch of parents getting their kids up and stuff like that.
During COVID.
Cool. Yeah, during COVID. Yeah.
Wait, but this was before you were dads.
Yeah.
We knew we were going to be dads at that point. Like he prepared it like in advance, like before she was born.
Oh, that's kind of sweet though. Wait, so tell me, how did you become dads?
You want to take it?
Yeah, you take it.
Well, first, I came from a small family, right? So it was just me and my sister and I, sorry. And then Monte came from family of 7, 14, something like that.
Wow.
So I honestly did not want kids at all. I'm very selfish.
Still is.
Still.
I know.
Yeah.
But, Monte kind of asked me some questions, not trying to persuade me, but, there's stuff that I really started thinking about. And so we ended up, I finally said, you know what, it makes sense. Let's have a kid. So that's kind of how.
After years.
Yeah. That's how we became parents. But the way we became parents.
Well, yeah. So we originally were. We were in Colorado at the time, and was I in the military at the time?
You were getting out.
Yeah, I was still in the military at the time, but
Army.
Yeah, we were originally trying to do like adoption at first, actually, but we kept getting a bunch of closed doors. Kept getting a bunch of runarounds. There was a lot of let's say. Secret homophobia happening without, being directly to our face. Let's just say that during the process. So we weren't really getting a lot of help with that in various ways. And then we ended up getting to Nebraska, and Mario went to college with one of his good friends that connected us to our now, surrogate. She was at a dinner or whatever, and they would always make fun of how she was so fertile. And they were like, we would, just as adults, you're in your like 20s. I think we're in our late 20s at that time. And you just talk about, oh, do you want to become parents? Yes, no, whatever. We're like, yeah, we've tried, but right now, I don't know, we're kind of discouraged. And then we kind of just told our story about how we came into a bunch of issues trying to become parents. And they were like, well, yeah, Ariel, she pops out babies like rabbits. She's super fertile.
Okay.
They're like, okay, all right. So that we would always make a joke about it. Yeah.
Right.
And we were like, make a joke about it. Like, well, shoot, Ariel could be y'all surrogate. And then one day
She called
us and she was like,
hey, I'm serious. I'll be your surrogate.
Yeah,
she was
she's like, I'm
pursuing
ready to do
you more than you
She
were pursuing
was.
her. Wow.
Yes, which is a very rare thing.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I mean, you two are really good people. You deserve, to, start your own family, have a baby. And, and she was like, I want to be able to help you all out. Now, our surrogate is also married and she had her own children already. And yeah, she had 3 children and
Kind of the best way to do it, frankly. That's a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. She had her own children, married. We were really close with, her husband, family and everything. And we just became like this big family and she helped us out. She became our surrogate.
I remember we had like a couple like come to our house, let's chat a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one of the meetings, her husband, we were talking. She's like, "Well, how do we want to do it?" And I never forget, man. He said, "Well, it's her body, it's her choice. She can do whatever she wants to do." It's like, but if you guys, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think you'll ever feel me because Monte's so big.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, we'll have to figure out something because,
Wow.
After Monte goes, I don't know how how she'll be able to even ever, take me again.
Oh my God! So all options were on the table at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
literally,
Literally,
Quite
okay.
literally.
Yeah. So long story short, kind of jumping into how she got here. We Monte was in school. I wrote into the Ellen DeGeneres show, and immediately, like 20 minutes after I sent it, I got an email or a call from them, and I was like, "This can't be real" because it's unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And I would end up surprising Monte. They surprised me too.
Very much
COVID.
so. Mm-hmm.
They did some trickery to kind of think that we weren't going.
They told us we were going to be going to the momsplaining with Christian Bell, and I was like, "Why would we be going on momsplaining for Christian Bell?"
Yeah, so they flew us out there, and we actually were on the Ellen show
during COVID.
If you type in Mario Monte on Google, you'll see everything.
But what did you email them? What did you initially email them?
I initially emailed just about Monte, like he has a huge heart, right, for people, giving to people, all that, and helping them out. And so, and his story, he's a vet. I want to say disabled vet.
I am a disabled vet.
Yeah, disabled vet.
A wounded warrior.
Yeah, and just kind of talking about his story. It wasn't necessarily for the kids thing.
Samaritanship.
Yeah, Samaritanship. About our experience. About we're in the church. That's how we met in the church.
Mm-hmm.
Very different. And so that's kind of pretty much the premises of everything that I sent them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have a lot to uncover and which is why our story got so much attention. And so it was just it was a whole process. Now our surrogate area, she had often become our surrogate long before we were on TV.
Friends way before.
Because a lot of people ask like, well, did she reach out, once she thought you all were famous? We're like, no,
right.
No, we were friends long before we became anything in the public scene, before our family became so public. She was a really good friend of ours. And so, it was to the point where we're at this point now where her husband is our baby daddy and we all call each other baby daddy.
Nice.
We talk all the time, a very unique story. And so that's what really got the attention.
That's all, and I actually think it's not super uncommon because I see a lot of people in the surrogacy groups online constantly saying like, how do people do it? Like, I don't know, like, I don't have $200,000 and like, how do I, and a lot of people will suggest start asking your friends and family. And I think a lot of people hear that and go, nobody in my life would ever do that. But the truth is you don't actually know because a lot of women either love being pregnant, but are done with having their family. In your case, that was the similar case for us. And it is pretty amazing that there are women out there who earnestly want to do this for people in your sphere that maybe you had no idea.
Did y'all have lawyers involved just to make sure all T's were crossed and all I's dotted? Or did you say, we just trust each other?
Yeah. So Nebraska. So yeah, we knew the relationship that we had. However, there's a couple of reasons we had to go that direction.
One, because it was new for us.
One, it was new of us. At any minute, something could happen. So we did have to do that. Also, as I said, we were in Colorado. After Colorado, being at the church there, I joined the Air Force. Our first duty station was Omaha, Nebraska. And Omaha is not, completely there yet.
Yeah.
So
conservative.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Not a
we
shocker.
did have to go out, especially when the baby came, because we had to go through a bunch of processes. Who's going to be on the birth certificate?
Yeah.
Us two. It can be two women, but it can't be two men.
Really? Nebraska loves the lesbians, but not the gays, huh?
I don't know why, but two women could in the state of Nebraska. And I don't know if it's maybe because of when the mom who gives the I guess birth, and then there's already room for that one extra person for the mom, maybe. Yeah. I don't know if that's particularly why, but we never really got a full answer of why that's the case, that we had to pretty much go through the process of legal adoption even after being our own daughter. So,
but you know what? It's so important that we do that because because our country is on fire, because every state is different, is to make sure you're protected. Our very first lawyer, when we did a second surrogacy, we reached out to him and his emails weren't he wasn't responding. So we found a new lawyer, and I was telling the new lawyer, hey, I don't know why we had this old lawyer. This was his name. He's not responding. And she was like, oh, because he's in prison. He was he was disbarred because he was just fucking shit up left and right, and now he's in prison. And I was like, oh my god, we gotta check over those documents.
That was another thing, because especially in the finance part, every email, no matter what the email was $50.
It's definitely expensive.
So I remember they responded to us congratulations. $50. $50.
What?
Yeah. We're already,
You can save your congratulations and just save you $50 for sure. Well,
exactly.
And so your daughter was born in Nebraska. How were ultimately though, we make all of these assumptions. Omaha is obviously conservative, yada, yada, but were you treated well in the process by the locals and whatnot?
Locals.
Yeah. So,
and the hospital and the nurses and your community.
The hospital was a great experience.
Yeah, we had a wonderful experience. Minus the part that we had to decide who's going to be on the birth certificate.
Yeah.
But it was a wonderful experience. In fact, so we were a part of a documentary called We Live Here in the Midwest on Hulu and Disney Plus. And we covered just a little bit of our journey of how we were, treated in Nebraska and living in the Midwest. Yeah. And utterly surprisingly, at least the area that we were. So now if people don't know about Nebraska is one of the only two states in our country that's split into three parts when you think about conservative versus, liberal, or how we vote with electoral colleges. It's split in three. So Omaha area itself is very liberal Democratic. So if people don't know that, you'll be surprised. And Omaha is very much more liberal than the rest. When you go outside of that county line, it is very clear. You'll see the difference. But we were treated, at least for us, we were treated very well. We were treated with much respect. We were treated with love. Of course, there's people who got something to say and, whatever. But overall, we were treated very well. We had a lot of people who came through for us, which really helped us in our journey as we were preparing to become parents. We had a lot of people, contribute to us, donations. People would help us sell things to support our family. We had a lot of support, at least in that area, and it was so surprising. So
that's awesome.
Definitely
that's awesome.
more than we thought it would be.
Yeah.
So then let's get to the meat of the matter. Hawaii. What took you from Omaha to Honolulu?
I mean, upgrade for sure. That's an upgrade. That is, yes.
Yes. Honestly, that's straightforward for us as a military. They had an opening here. It was one on my bucket list, and so I got a call during Christmas, I like to spend Christmas, in the sun. I was like, oh, cool. What does that mean? Are you going to Hawaii? It's like, what? So yeah,
and that was just 2 Christmases ago. Is that right?
Man, 2022.
Well, that'll be
2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
This will be our third Christmas.
Yeah, third Christmas. It'll be third year here.
So tell us a little bit about your I know that you have a very diverse professional household, and you've both had multiple chapters. Summarize those chapters for us, will you?
Yeah.
Where do we start?
So diverse. So obviously I'm in the military. I'm the United States Air Force Band of the Pacific in Hawaii. And I'm a vocalist.
It's probably best that we start backwards. So
Okay.
he and I, like you mentioned, how we mentioned that we both started we met in the church. And so before that, he went to college to become a musician at
Hastings College in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kool-Aid was invented.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Big stuff. Big stuff.
And they make it right.
Yeah. So when we met, I was in the military. I was active duty military. And he was a musician at our church, which is, again, how we met.
Right.
And so I was in the military at the time. I was serving in the Army. And I was medically retired from the Army after sustaining injuries. And I was like, okay, what the hell do I do with my life? Like, I only had a little bit of college before I left for the military. I grew up in the projects, in the city hood, the projects,
Where? What city?
In Norfolk, Virginia. So very urban, nearly impoverished into poverty.
And also super military too.
Very Navy. It's the largest Navy base we have in this country. So I grew up around that. But that's not what encouraged me to go into the military, surprisingly. What encouraged me to go to the military was my mom had moved us down to Florida, and I had started college after working at, Waffle House for a year, about 2 years. And I was just saying, okay, I started college. It wasn't really for me at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm necessarily either smart enough for college, or if I just want to go to college at all. And so I just was trying to survive and make, pay the bills. And so I was like, well, I'll screw this college. I did a year at a community college. And I was like, okay, I need money to pay bills. And one day my best friend was getting ready to go off into the Navy. And I was like, oh, well, shoot, like now what happens with me? Mm-hmm. And so I went to follow his footsteps, but the Navy didn't accept me and because of the time limit. But so then I ended up seeing a recruiter, went off, and I was like, hey, he said you get three meals and somewhere to live. And I was like, well, that's my story, and sign me up. And so that's why I joined the military originally. It wasn't this whole, I want to grow up and be a soldier. That was not my story. Nope. Yeah. It was, I need to survive and pay bills, and I also get to see the world. So that's how he and I met. I got stationed in Colorado. Yeah. And he was there at the church at the time as the director of music.
Yep. Director of music there for about 6 years. Of course, they found out about us. They said, hey, you need to get an annulment for your marriage, as if it never happened.
Wow.
We did go through with the process because, one, I needed a job. Two, he was dealing with all the transition stuff. So at that time, I was very communicative. So like, hey, I'm going to MEPS. I'm doing the audition process, all that stuff. So we went through the process with the annulment, which is crazy. And
all trying to protect your job because we still had to pay bills.
It's fucking heartbreaking. I'm sorry. It infuriates me, but it's heartbreaking. Yeah.
And so I remember the second we had to go to the courthouse twice, and mind you, they're not paying for this. It had to be from us. So we went to the courthouse the second time, and it's like, all right, Mario Monte. So we walk up there, because nothing's wrong with us. The judge goes, no, come around the desk. We're like, oh, shoot, what just happened?
In front of all these people in the courtroom, we're like,
we're in trouble.
What's happening?
Yeah. And so they're like, hey, nothing seems wrong with you guys. Yeah. So someone is telling you or forcing you to do this, let us know so we'll do an investigation.
Yeah. She was an older white lady, and she was like, I've been a judge for so long, and you two don't look like you're not in love. So what's happening?
Whoa.
Wow.
She said, you two don't look like you aren't in love. Meaning she was saying, something like she knew something was a little bit fishy. She knew something
was up. Yeah.
It was shady.
So for me, I was like, all right, well, we left. And she said, within 90 days, if you don't come back with this, we just completely disregard it. So I gave the paperwork to the pastor, and I was like, hey, this is what we did. And I didn't follow through because, one, I didn't want to put the church through all that stuff. They already did. I know you did. I didn't want to put the church for all that because they've been through that already with the pastor and all that jazz before. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just let that go and let, kind of God deal with them the way they did. And
I was like, no, they need to be exposed to what they're doing. But I was like, you know what? I'll just let, I'll just let it go and we'll figure out what we're going to do. So while we were going through this process, I was in college at the time. So now I'm out of the military. And this is me in my undergrad. I was in a summer class, only one class. I wasn't even going to take school that summer. I was just like, I need a break. I've been in school. I just went from my culinary arts programs right into a psychology program. This is just a lot. And so something told me to just take one class, and I took the one class, and my professor, she was a retired vocalist in the United States Air Force Band. And I was like, she would always talk about how she would have so much fun and all the things. I was like, wait, there's a band that like a rock band in the military? She was like, yeah. Like, I was like, okay, was that like your side job? Was it your real job? She was like, no, this is my regular job. Like, I do this for a living. I was like, no way. I was like, I would love for you to talk to my husband. Like, would you mind staying after school or class one day and can my husband come and join us? And then they got connected, which is how he ended up going into the military.
Yeah, so that time they set me down for 6 months.
Yeah.
I was able to go do the audition. And
wow.
I won the audition and I made the decision. I remember they're getting a new musician and they're going to pay him a lot more than me. I love him to death. He's one of my good friends. And he's like, I don't know how we're going to afford you. I was like, oh, I do. You can have my salary because I'm going to be leaving.
Yeah. Good friends. You have excellent judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of the church just stuff. So
but there is so much to unpack here for episodes parts 2 and 3 with Mario and Monte, maybe separately so that we can, my goodness. But really what this comes down to is that David is a narcissist and I just want to be like David. And I am so curious, having been an actor and auditioned for 10,000 things and been told no 9,999 times. How did you audition for a military chorus? I mean, did you have your 16 bars? Did you sing Copacabana? Did you have choreography with it? Was it a church song? Like what? Just give me a snippet of what that audition was like.
So audition, so you find audition for a vocalist position, right? There are choruses that are in the Air Force, but I'm not in that. I'm an actual like rock band type of deal.
Oh, okay.
But you go in, you sing the anthem. That's pretty much your first thing.
Oh yeah, you better be able to sing that anthem. That's for sure.
Dressed up.
You're like, oh, Canada. They're like, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there.
Wrong song.
Yeah, so that's that's a bland one. No one's really looking at you. You're behind a sheet.
Oh,
things might have changed since then. And then you go back to a room and then they give you, if you pass that part, then you get like 5-10 minutes to work with the band with the songs that they've given you.
Like Bon Jovi or?
Yeah, we're talking about Bon Jovi. Okay. We're talking about, come on and dance with me. Shut up and dance with me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Stuff like that. Oh yeah,
Walk the Moon.
There's so much. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. I did not know that this even existed. I was definitely envisioning you in a full uniform, like concert dress. How do you dress when you're in the band, and who are you playing for?
And I was imagining you in a dress, so it's all different. We have no idea what.
Full concert dress. Yes.
Every band is a little different. Here in Hawaii, we obviously wear our camo that you see in military.
Sure.
But we also do our aloha attire. So we have like an aloha shirt and our khakis, especially in the local community. We do perform for the locals. We do perform for the communities. We do travel. We do deployment. We do deployments. And we're all over the countries. We have specifically Hawaii. We're in charge of the Indo-Pacific. So we have everything from, Australia to New Zealand to Alaska. We travel to those countries or states, keeping our alliances and stuff together, communicating, messaging, all of that. So.
We need help with maintaining all of those alliances as much as we can right now, right?
Yes.
Speaking
of help we can get.
Speaking of getting all the help we can get, then I'm curious, Monte, on your side of the mental health aspect, like did you did the military, when you got out of the military, did you say people need some help and I'm going to give it to them?
Sorry.
Yeah, that with a combination of So for me, going through what I went through in the military, combining it with the complex issues. So a person who's been diagnosed with complex PTSD between military, being African American, being gay African American.
Yeah.
Oh, so much to uncover. And I was just like, there's a lot of shit going on, and I can do something about it little by little, or I can be a part of a part of this change. And there were some things I didn't necessarily like about what was happening in the military when it came down to mental health, and how it was always, just hush and keep it going. And then how detrimental that was for me, and how it took me so long to, even to the point where, Mario and I, when we were first together, like nearly, not necessarily ultimatumish, but like he pointed out a lot of things about my mental health that I didn't even know about.
Let me tell you something real fast. So
he leans in really close to the mic. For those of you just listening, leaned in real close to that monitor. Wanted to make sure he is full frame. Go.
There's a couple of things. The first one was I would get irritated because we go to Walmart all the time or go somewhere, and he would still be in the car, and I'm already halfway in the store. I'm like, where the hell is Monte at? Like, and he's still in the car, kind of looking out and whatnot. And that blew my mind. The second one, I'm going to get a little dirty, if you don't mind. Tell me if I can't.
Please. This is the podcast for it.
I'll never forget. I was experimenting, sexually, right, with him. And I tied him up with my ties.
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't know he had PTSD at all.
I didn't know.
That could be very triggering.
Yes. And so I was doing that, and I'm thinking like, all right, I'm going to try doing this. Blah, blah, blah. And I can kind of see like, okay, what's going on? So like that. And I'm like, oh, snap. And so, he couldn't, all that type,
Yeah.
He restrained me.
Yeah. And so, those were kind of moments I was like, something's up. I don't know what's up, but I know something's up, Sorry to interject.
Yeah. Well,
it was a good interjection. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, he definitely did. And so it was those moments where I realized like, oh shit, I got something going on. Like, and he was like, this is scary. You're going into these like disassociations, which we know now. I didn't know I didn't know what the hell a disassociation was. So he was like, I remember he called like the ambulance or whatever to come over because he thought I was like, I don't know what he thought was happening.
His eye was just open and nothing. He was just frozen, and a tear would go down his eye. And I couldn't do anything except give him our little dog at the time,
my emotional support dog.
Yeah. And it was crazy. He actually didn't tell me everything happened until
years later,
5-6 years into our marriage.
I mean, you have lived a lot. That's for sure. And you've, I mean, I would imagine frequently you look back and think, wow, where I came from and where I am now.
Oh, absolutely.
I bet.
Absolutely.
Now you guys are influencers and you're putting so much of your life out there. And I would say, again, I wasn't exaggerating in the introduction. I think you spread so much joy, and that's what's really compelling and wonderful about you. But how do you manage your worries about the future, about your daughter and whatnot, and exposing yourself so much online?
That's an interesting question. So when I got into, at least for me, when I got into the mental health field to become a therapist, I knew that I never wanted to be a traditional therapist because my life is not traditional. And I wanted to be authentic as possible. And I always thought about like, how would I be able to connect to people that look just like me or similar to me or my story? I have to go real with them. I got to go raw. And so I remember going through grad school and my counseling school at the time. And I was like, well, none of this looks like me. I was the only African-American male in my cohort, which was a problem. And I'm like, we need more representation. We need more people that have stories like mine or situations. We can't simply be the only gay Black male couple out in the world. Gay dads, like where are we? And
especially in the military form, because anything I say does not, reflect what the DoD and Air Force views, but like, especially in the military, like I don't see Black gay men with kids and leadership positions. And so, especially me trying to get up in the ranks and whatnot, I'm like, who can I go to for questions? How do you do this? How do I, because then you're still going against the grain when people are trying to do things like, oh, we don't want this to be seen. We don't want this to be, all that. So military wise, it was kind of a difficult thing because you didn't have that reference point.
Yeah. And Mario has more restrictions, obviously, being in the military than I do. I mean, I've served my time, and I choose every day to advocate and spread awareness. And now, yes, that comes with some risk of, again, exposing yourself. Our family was naturally already exposed when we were on the Ellen Show, and then from the Ellen Show to the the documentary that we're part of. We Live Here in the Midwest, exposed, right? And even before we did that, we had to go through this process of like, okay, just so you know, once you get out there, we went through this whole like, it was a before this documentary comes out, just so you know, this is what kind of questions you're going to get.
Yeah,
interviews. We were all over news stations, and they're going to ask you this, and we prepared for that, and we talked about this. We were like, well, shit. If we've been through everything we've been through with the church, with my life, your life, at this point in time, what else can they say about us and do to us that we have not already experienced? And somebody needs our story. Yeah. Somebody needs to see our family and see how much things are to see the truth of the matter, and also to see how well we can take care of our daughter. Yeah. And I am a proud father to know when people see two Black men raising our daughter. One thing about me is I'm a fashion person. And when they see our daughter at her school, all over, wherever we go, they're like, oh, we know she's coming fire. I'm like, oh, she certainly will. When she has a last name Foreman Powell, she will always be in the best option possible out there, and you will know.
Now, wait a minute. My partner and I definitely tried to make our children the best dressed in school. I mean, we absolutely wanted to represent, because we have, obviously, we want to represent. Now, my children dress it is just the bargain bin at the back of Old Navy.
It's ironic because it's cool to look like that.
I know. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Listen, I'm just saying, I have a sense of style. It may not always manifest itself, but it is definitely not manifesting itself in my children, which is
this is a video format too, right, Gavin? Just making sure that you know that we can see you right now. But what you were saying, guys, is really interesting, because I feel the same way, because Gavin and I were both former actors, and we've done the interviews and the things or whatever. And there is a power, because when people say, "Oh, you're going to put that on your podcast, you're going to put that on Instagram," you're like, "Babe, are you kidding me? No, I've been doing this my whole life. That's not power you can leverage over me. Yeah, I have the power now to tell my story." And I love that you said that, because it's so true. I get a lot of people in my life who are like, "Oh my God, are you going to say that?" I was like, "Baby, I've been being interviewed for 20 years. Like, what are you talking about? Like, who fucking cares?"
As we round this out, I would love to ask one more thing related to what you were just saying, which is, and I found, is this just my algorithm? But I am like, I do not see enough gay Black men parents. And I'm I know that there are more out there. Plus, I think there are more gay parents out there than we realize. And yet at the same time, well, let's face it, we are literally a minority. I mean, there aren't... TV lets us think that there's lots of gay representation. But actually, let's face it, it's small numbers. But I'm surprised there aren't more gay Black parents in my feed. Is that the inherent racism of Meta, or have you found, like, actually there aren't that many? I don't know.
Gavin, you are responsible for your algorithm, let's be honest.
Listen, thank you for poking at my vulnerabilities.
I mean, even for us in our algorithm, I mean, that's all we post is our, gay Black love, gay love, two parents. And I see it, even though all of us are a minority within the overall society, when you think about like hetero norms or whatever, but even amongst, and one of the things that I'm working on for my dissertation in my doctoral program is African-American gay or Black gay men, and also women who are in this community. It's like, there's a community, but then there's a sub-community. So you're a minority within a minority within a minority, let alone if you're, two African-American men. And it's like, I've tried to like shape the algorithm to see more of that, but I see maybe one or two African-American, same-sex couples. And it's like, there's no way out of all these millions of people in this world on this social media, is this not, so, and even playing with like certain hashtags and how I always notice like what videos get the most views versus not. And it's like, anytime I put like, gay black this, we get less views than if I just say, if I just say gays with kids, we'll get more views. And if I say gay black, it'll go from seeing, nearly 10,000 views to maybe 1,000 views. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And even on like, when it comes on like Instagram, on TikTok, it's like, why is this not like a thing? Like this is a beautiful thing. And if we're supposed to be representing what we all really look like in this country, why are we not seeing it?
There is a weird disparity. Listen, we started this show partly for that reason. Obviously, it's a little bit different, but we've interviewed. This is episode 105. We've interviewed a lot of social media people, and I feel like it's the same story, which is like I didn't see people who looked like me or look like my life. That's why I started the show. I was like, there is no gay comedy podcast. There's no gay comedy parenting content out there. But then you start interviewing all these people, and then they're saying the same thing back to you, and you're like, why aren't we finding each other?
Well, speaking of comedy, to make a complete 180, but thank you for sharing your vulnerabilities there. Can we talk about kids again? And can you share with us a couple of those stories that I will never forget the time when?
I think my favorite one was when she was a baby so far. There has to be some more now. That's the only one.
Definitely now.
But the one she had some stomach problems going on. And
I love it already. I love it already.
You're in the right place.
We had a great like house in Omaha, and I was like upstairs loft, and she was in the her bedroom trying to get her stomach stuff. So
she had gas.
Yeah, so he had stuck one of those like fleet things up there.
No, it's a little. Is it like
it's like I know it's exactly what.
Suppository, and then there's a whistle thing.
Yeah, and so he put that in there, and I was in the room, and all I heard is, and then. He says, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, I put my head down. I was like, "No freaking way!" And so I went into the room, and he's holding her like in the palm of his hand, and he has his shit all
the way down
on his stomach. So my dumb ass, I go downstairs, and I'm like, "Oh, I gotta get some cleaning solution." And it's bleach.
Yes, stain the carpet. Till this day, when we go back home to visit our surrogate who lives in our house that we own, it's still there, and we're like, should we just leave it there for like memory?
Like you're covered in shit, and you're like, what would make this better? Bleach. Spray me with bleach. Like
I went to just clean mode. Like I didn't know what I grabbed.
Oh my god,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, and speaking of which, when she was a baby, I remember holding her up, and she was just, "Oh, you're so cute." And then, she literally just threw up every bit of breast milk that she had because we were our surrogate was pumping for her, and it went, and I was just like, "Oh, you're so cute," and just threw it, went all down and swallowed her throw up, the breast milk. And we would make fun of with our surrogate and say, "I tasted your breast milk."
I know what your breast milk tastes like.
We took a shot. We took a shot of her breast milk.
Yeah, it was a shot of her breast milk.
Good for you.
And then most recently, when you got to experience her first curse word, which I was upset about. I wanted to experience her first curse word.
Yeah, I'll never forget. We're in the back of the truck, our car, and because of potty training and whatnot. And so she sat down. I said, "Oh," and then she started to fall back, and she goes, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "What did you just say?" Yes. She said, "What the fuck?"
And you immediately have to go, "Okay, I really want to laugh at this, but I have to set a tone. But damn, was that funny?"
Yes,
yes.
And so I was like, "Hey, babe, we do not say that word. That's a bad word." She's like, "Okay." So I came back home, and I was like, "So she had her first cuss word today." And he's like, "Well, what'd she say?" I was like, "I'm not going to say what she said again because then she's going to want to say it again." And then she's like, I said,
being all shy.
"What the fuck?"
I said, and she could tell she knew. She was like, "Oh, I should not." I said it was.
Oh, that
but
is
see, now
awesome.
she knows
And
she has power with that word too. Now,
Yeah.
she's like,
Yes.
I can get these guys. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that is the secret to it all, is just trying to overcome the power play between you and your kids.
It's so
Um,
true.
Guys, thank you for demeaning yourself and coming onto our stupid little podcast. You are a delight. You were every bit as joyful as I knew you would be. The facade you put out there to the world is true, and thank you for spreading your light.
us.
Thank
This
you.
is who we
Yes,
are.
thank you for
In
coming
and
by.
out.
You guys
Thanks,
are
man.
awesome. I
Thank
love
you for the
guys'
invitation.
personality and characters. So
Shucks,
awesome.
thanks.
We got laughs this morning, so
Yes.
thank you.
Oh, good. So my something great this week is an app which I discovered. Again, I had said this about our top 3 list, but for our listener out there, if we repeat our something great, if we repeat our top 3 list, if we repeat a story, we are senior citizens running a free podcast. You're going to have to bear with us, okay? But I don't think I've done this one before because it's relatively new. So I found this app called via a TikTok called Radio Garden. Have you heard of Radio Garden?
I have not.
So Radio Garden is so fucking amazing. It is literally an app where the app opens and it's the fucking globe. And it is every radio station on Earth.
Oh,
and you just spin the globe, you zoom into wherever you want, you click on the thing, and it's a live feed of what's currently airing in that country. And that, like, it is.
I'm stunned.
It is.
You have stunned me into silence thrice on this episode.
It is so amazing. And so what do? I go to like Inverness, Scotland. I open up their like little local station and I listen and I just imagine I live there. It is so it was kind of reminds me of what Periscope used to be, where like you could kind of go anywhere in the world and watch a live feed of whatever was happening there. And there's something so magical about being able to transport yourself. But yeah, it's called Radio Garden. It's a free app and it's incredible.
That's awesome. My daughter had a lacrosse game this weekend, and it was not her best game. I'm not going to lie. I could see her out on the field.
Drag her.
Listen, just wait. I could see that she was a little low-key. She was a little run down. Maybe she hadn't slept. I don't know what it was, but I could just tell from the field that she wasn't having the best game. And she was adjusting her goggles. They have to wear these safety goggles. My daughter wears glasses, so she has to wear the goggles over the glasses, which is a pain, right? And I thought she was uncomfortable. Blah, blah, blah. She gets off the field, and I was afraid that it was going to be just like, woe is me, woe is me. No, she was elated and laughing and beaming. And she had to report, Dad, my glasses were fogging up throughout the entire game and I couldn't see the ball. And it was so funny. And I thought, I am so glad that you had that perspective, because I was thinking,
you're a piece of shit. Can you imagine if she goes, Dad, guess what? You're like, I don't know. You're terrible at this. And you're like, oh God.
What is awesome is that if you can't always be, an athlete, you can be an athletic supporter. And she is the funnest kid out on the field. And that is absolutely something to celebrate. And I'm so glad that she leans into that and knew that she was playing a comedic game of lacrosse out there. And she was living her best life. And that was a pretty awesome thing to realize, that I was the asshole on the field, on the sidelines, as always, and she was the badass out on the field. And that's our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at GaytriarchsPodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at GaytriarchsPodcast. On the internet, David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere, and Gavin is at Gavin Lodge on making fun of his children who are playing sports and trying their best.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks, and we'll drag you next time on another episode of Gaytriarchs.